I heard in the distance. I thought it was my mom coming back to make breakfast. We looked at each other, and that's when I knew it was something else.
With millions of years of history, the Grand Canyon is far more mysterious than it seems. If you suspect there's more to this natural wonder than meets the eye, you're absolutely right. From recent footage of an unknown creature being carried by soldiers to the story of a legendary doll, here are the 20 strangest things ever discovered at the Grand Canyon. Number 20. The real age of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is one of the greatest landscapes in the world, and for good reason. Not only is it a stunning piece of nature, but it's also one of the oldest. You see, the Grand Canyon is a geological puzzle that has baffled scientists for over a century. Recently, researchers uncovered a surprising truth. The Grand Canyon is both incredibly old and shockingly young at the same time. For years, scientists debated whether the canyon was carved around 70 million years ago, or if it was a much more recent phenomenon, around 5 to 6 million years old. Well, it turns out both are true. The Grand Canyon wasn't formed in a single event, but rather through a patchwork of different canyons that were slowly stitched together by the mighty Colorado River. While parts of the Grand Canyon, like the eastern segment, are around 15 to 25 million years old, other sections, such as Marble Canyon and the Western Grand Canyon, only began forming around 5 to 6 million years ago. This means that while some parts were already ancient when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, the Colorado River only recently connected all these segments, giving us the Grand Canyon we know today. Using cutting-edge techniques like thermochronology, scientists were able to track the history of the rocks, discovering that older sections were carved by ancient rivers tens of millions of years ago, while younger portions were shaped by the Colorado River more recently. The Grand Canyon has been forming since 70 million years ago, when dinosaurs still roamed the Earth. However, the reason why we can't find fossils in the Grand Canyon is that new formations have covered the rocks from the time of the dinosaurs. This means that the canyon itself probably didn't form until after the dinosaurs were long gone. Number 19. Mysterious metal found at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. This bizarre metal was found by a hiker on a trail in the Grand Canyon, leaving them perplexed by what it could be. Luckily, the internet has answers. It turns out that this metal, found on the Bright Angel Trail, is part of the path's maintenance. The Bright Angel Trail is one of the most popular hiking routes in the Grand Canyon, offering breathtaking views as it descends from the south rim all the way down to the Colorado River. Stretching around 9.5 miles one way, this trail has seen thousands of adventurers take on its switchbacks and steep elevation changes. What's often overlooked, however, is the behind-the-scenes work that keeps this trail safe and accessible. Maintenance is carried out using miniature bulldozers. While the idea of mini bulldozers on a narrow canyon trail might seem out of place, they're actually responsible for keeping the trail in top condition. Due to intense wear and tear from both foot traffic and mule trains, the trail surface can deteriorate quickly. Heavy rains, flash floods, and the regular movement of mules carrying supplies can erode the path, making it dangerous. That's where the miniature bulldozers come in. Particularly in more accessible areas closer to the rim, they're used to move rocks, clear debris, and even out the trail, ensuring it remains safe for both hikers and mules. Mules, a unique feature on the Bright Angel Trail, regularly transport goods and sometimes people down the steep slopes. Their routes add additional stress to the trail structure, making consistent maintenance vital to prevent accidents and preserve the trail's integrity. Without this heavy machinery, the trail would likely become unsafe for both hikers and mules. Number 18. Scary sign. Crossing the Grand Canyon from rim to rim is nothing short of an epic challenge. This trek, spanning roughly 24 miles, requires descending over 6,000 feet to the canyon's base, and then climbing back up the opposite rim, often with temperatures soaring over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the canyon's depths. The elevation change is one of the most daunting aspects, with hikers facing grueling switchbacks like the infamous Devil's Corkscrew on the Bright Angel Trail. It's no surprise that this is considered one of the most strenuous hikes in the United States. As if that's not enough, the Grand Canyon is highly unpredictable. From scorching summer heat to sudden snowstorms in the winter, the Grand Canyon's extreme conditions can quickly turn the adventure into a battle against the elements. Hikers must carefully plan when to go, with mid-October often being the ideal time due to cooler temperatures. Water availability is another critical factor. Certain trails, like the South Kaibab, offer no water sources, meaning hikers must carry their own. Perhaps that's why this scary sign makes sense. This sign was spotted by a hiker in the Grand Canyon. In the face of nature, it's better to underestimate yourself than to overestimate your abilities. If you think you're not ready to conquer the hike, it's better not to go, even if you only have a sliver of doubt. Number 17. A photo left at the Grand Canyon. This photo was discovered by a hiker in the Grand Canyon, and the internet believes it has a heartbreaking backstory. It's normal for people to leave behind trinkets in the canyon, Tourists sometimes leave behind jewelry, stones, or handwritten notes. Some do this as a way to honor loved ones or make a personal connection with the canyon. On the flip side, park rangers often find plenty of abandoned hiking gear, water bottles, and even shoes scattered across trails. This photo, however, is believed to have been left behind by a hiker who finally reached the Grand Canyon but, unfortunately, did it alone. The person in the photo may have passed away before they could see the beauty of the Grand Canyon together with the hiker. Number 16. A sacrifice for better mapping. In 2012, Google took its mapping service to new heights, or more accurately, new depths, by sending a team into the Grand Canyon with specialized trekker backpacks. These backpacks, equipped with 15 5-megapixel cameras, weighed nearly 40 pounds and captured 360-degree images every 2.5 seconds as the team hiked along the canyon's iconic trails, including the steep Bright Angel Trail. This project marked a significant expansion of Google Street View, which had already mapped millions of miles of roads. But the Grand Canyon was a different challenge altogether. No streets, just rugged terrain. The team had to hike nearly 10 miles down to the Colorado River, navigating the canyon's steep inclines and narrow paths, to bring the beauty of this natural wonder to the world. The initiative was part of Google's broader effort to take Street View off-road, eventually expanding the service to places like Mount Everest and the Amazon. All of this was done just so people could explore places they can't reach, from the comfort of their own homes. Now it's time for today's topic. In a remote forested region near the Grand Canyon, a solo tourist claims to have witnessed something truly terrifying. While exploring the secluded trails, the tourist stumbled upon a group of individuals wearing military-style uniforms, moving cautiously through the area. Strangely, they were carrying what appeared to be a large, unknown creature on a makeshift stretcher. The creature, as described, had bizarre humanoid features, a reddish-brown hide, and an unsettling appearance that did not resemble any known animal. It seemed to be either severely injured or lifeless. The tourist, frozen in shock, managed to capture this single photograph before the group disappeared into the dense woods. When the tourist shared this image online, speculation erupted. Some believe it is an undiscovered cryptid, possibly related to legends of skinwalkers or other mythical creatures rumored to inhabit the area. Others suggest the military might be involved in secret biological experiments that accidentally escaped or were uncovered. Skeptics, however, argue the image is simply a hoax or misidentification. What's even more mysterious is that officials have provided no explanation for the sighting, leading many to wonder, what are they hiding in the Grand Canyon's wilderness? Could there be unknown creatures lurking in the shadows, waiting to be discovered? Number 15. U.S. Route 666. If you're looking for a thrilling experience near the Grand Canyon, perhaps U.S. Route 666 might interest you. Infamously dubbed the Devil's Highway, this path has earned a notorious reputation for both its treacherous conditions and eerie legends. Established in 1926 as the sixth spur of the famous Route 66, it was given the numerical designation 666, a number associated with the mark of the beast from the Bible's Book of Revelation. This immediately gave rise to superstitions that the road was cursed, and over time, a series of bizarre legends only fueled the highway's dark allure. It seemed the belief breathed truth into the terrifying legends. Stretching across New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado, this 200-mile stretch of road carved its way through desolate desert landscapes and sacred Native American lands like Shiprock. Early reports claimed that Route 666 was particularly hazardous, with higher-than-average accidents and fatal crashes, leaving many to believe the highway was cursed. Motorists driving along the route often recounted eerie encounters, such as the sight of hellhounds running alongside cars, or haunted semi-trucks attempting to drive vehicles off the road. The myths surrounding Route 666 didn't stop there. Some drivers reported strange disappearances, vanishing without a trace or showing up hours later with no memory of how they arrived at their destination. One of the most famous legends is of a ghostly girl in a white dress who is said to appear by the roadside before vanishing into thin air. Due to public pressure and its ominous reputation, Route 666 was renumbered as U.S. Route 491 in 2003. Yet, despite the change, stories of strange occurrences persist along the route. Number 14. The Grand Canyon from the ISS. In 2017, NASA released a jaw-dropping image of the Grand Canyon captured from the International Space Station using the student-operated Sally Ride Earth KAM. This stunning photograph, snapped in April and revealed to the public in May, gives a bird's-eye view of one of Earth's most iconic natural wonders. The story behind this photo is even more impressive. The Sally Ride Earth KAM, named after the first American woman in space, allows middle school students to remotely control the camera, making this photo particularly significant. From space, the Grand Canyon looks astounding. Stretching 277 miles in length and plunging up to 1 mile deep, This landscape is amazing from any angle, but the view from space emphasizes just how this magnificent chasm dominates the surrounding environment. The image shows the Colorado River snaking through the canyon's depths, with its sheer cliffs and vast plateaus contrasting against the clouds. The 2017 photograph also ties into a long history of astronauts capturing the Grand Canyon from orbit. NASA even celebrated the centennial of the U.S. National Park Service by assembling a composite image of the canyon using photos taken from space. If you ever wondered how small we are in the grand scheme of things, just look at this image of the Grand Canyon from space. It's a reminder of Earth's vastness and how insignificant our worries are compared to the wonders of the planet. Number 13. Gold in the Grand Canyon. The legend of Long Tom's treasure is one of the Grand Canyon's most captivating tales. It centers around a man named Long Tom Watson, who, in 1910, discovered papers in an abandoned cabin near the Grand Canyon. These papers allegedly detailed the location of a hidden cache of gold stashed by outlaws behind a seasonal waterfall deep within the canyon. Eager to find the treasure, Long Tom embarked on a quest that would span several years. In 1914, after scouring the canyon, he finally stumbled upon the waterfall and the cave it concealed. Inside, he found a trove of gold nuggets. But just as he was about to leave with his newfound wealth, disaster struck. Long Tom slipped, breaking his leg, and was forced to leave the gold behind as he crawled back to safety at a nearby ranch. Despite recovering from his injuries, Long Tom was never able to relocate the waterfall or the treasure, and his search ultimately ended in frustration. This tale has fueled treasure hunters' imaginations for over a century, with many continuing to search for the elusive waterfall and the hidden gold within the Grand Canyon's rugged terrain. However, just like many treasure legends, it remains shrouded in mystery, leaving the fate of Long Tom's gold as one of Arizona's enduring unsolved mysteries. Number 12. A threat of uranium contamination. In June, shocking news surprised the nation. The Grand Canyon is facing a serious threat: contamination from uranium mining. A uranium mine located dangerously close to the canyon has already raised alarm bells, as millions of gallons of toxic water have leaked into the surrounding aquifers. These aquifers feed directly into the Colorado River, which provides drinking water for over 25 million people across major cities like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. This is a significant problem as the contamination risk stems from uranium leaching into the groundwater. When uranium is mined, radioactive elements and toxic chemicals can seep into water sources, especially when mining occurs near fault lines or aquifers. In the Grand Canyon region, this is particularly concerning, as water travels through complex geological layers, moving contaminants into deeper aquifers, some of which serve local indigenous communities and visitors to the park. Studies have shown that the area's hydrology is too intricate to safely predict water contamination paths, making uranium mining a ticking time bomb for the environment and human health. Past uranium mines have already left scars across the region. Streams near abandoned mines have been found to be radioactively contaminated, leaving hikers and residents unable to use them. Radioactive dust from mining can also become airborne, creating another health risk, particularly for nearby communities. Hopefully, the situation will be controlled before it's too late. Number 11. A strange bug. Here's another wildlife species you might encounter in the Grand Canyon, and it's one of the most bizarre looking out there. This is the Mellow angusticalis, a species of blister beetle that calls the Grand Canyon its home. Known for their vivid red and black markings, these beetles have adapted well to the arid environment. They're most often seen in the Grand Canyon and surrounding areas, particularly on small hardy plants that thrive in the dry, rocky terrain. Like other blister beetles, Mellow angusticalis secretes cantharidin, a toxic chemical that can cause blistering of the skin upon contact. This chemical is potent enough to harm larger animals, and in some cases, it has even been known to cause death in livestock if consumed in large amounts through contaminated feed. This potent toxin acts as a powerful deterrent, keeping predators at bay. These beetles are a crucial part of the Grand Canyon's ecosystem. By feeding on plants and playing their role in the food chain, they help maintain the balance in this unique environment. Next time you're trekking through the canyon, keep an eye out for this striking beetle. But remember, it's best admired from a distance. Number 10. A nope rope. While hiking the Grand Canyon, you might encounter wildlife, and the snake is one of them. Identified as a Great Basin rattlesnake, this nope rope is something you need to avoid. Found in areas like Utah, Nevada, and parts of California, this rattlesnake thrives in rocky hillsides, sagebrush thickets, and desert floors. You see, this creature is remarkable in camouflage, which means you might not see it before it's too late. Its coloration ranges from pale brown to olive, and it sports irregular dark blotches on its back. This helps it blend seamlessly into its environment, allowing it to ambush prey like rodents, birds, and lizards. Not only does its camouflage make it an elusive predator, but it also helps the snake avoid detection by potential threats, including humans. Now, if you think these snakes are out there aggressively looking for trouble, think again. The Great Basin rattlesnake is generally non-aggressive and prefers to avoid conflict. When threatened, it relies on its famous rattling tail to warn off predators or curious hikers. In fact, these snakes would rather slither away than bite unless they're provoked. Even though their bites contain venom, fatalities are rare with prompt medical treatment. Even so, you should avoid these nope ropes should you encounter one in the wild. Number 9. The Thunderbird, North America's mythical creature. The Thunderbird is one of the most awe-inspiring creatures in Native American mythology, known across various tribes from the Pacific Northwest to the Great Plains. Described as a colossal bird, the Thunderbird's wings are said to span the skies, creating thunder with each powerful flap, while lightning shoots from its eyes or beak. Its presence in the skies was seen as a harbinger of storms, often bringing much-needed rain to the earth. This mythical creature was revered not only for its control over natural elements, but also for its role as a protector of humans, standing against evil spirits and maintaining the balance of nature. Many Native American cultures, including the Lakota, Ojibwe, and Algonquin tribes, tell stories of the Thunderbird as a guardian that vanquishes malevolent forces. In some tales, it even helped shape the land, creating mountains and valleys through its thunderous wing beats. The image of the Thunderbird also commonly appears in Native American art, especially in totem poles, regalia, and pottery. Today, the legend of the Thunderbird continues to inspire modern interpretations in pop culture, from literature to films. Number 8. Arizona's own Bigfoot. Animals aren't the only living beings in the Grand Canyon. Deep in its wilderness is allegedly the Mogollon monster. Standing at over 7 feet tall, this elusive hairy figure is often compared to Bigfoot. Described as having reddish-brown or black fur with red glowing eyes, the Mogollon monster's appearance is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. But it's not just its looks. This creature is infamous for an overwhelming odor likened to a mix of dead fish and skunk musk, making encounters even more unsettling. The story of the Mogollon monster dates back over a century, with reports as early as 1903 describing a monstrous hairy figure roaming the wilderness. Stories range from cowboys encountering the beast during camping trips to modern-day hikers claiming to have seen it dashing through the forest. In some tales, it's said to produce eerie, unearthly screeches at night, adding to its reputation as Arizona's most chilling cryptid. While the Mogollon monster is mostly associated with myth and folklore, its stories have persisted across generations. Whether the Mogollon monster is fact or fiction remains a mystery. Number 7. The Wendigo. The Wendigo is a fearsome and haunting figure deeply rooted in the folklore of Algonquin-speaking tribes in North America. This terrifying entity is described as a gaunt, skeletal creature with glowing eyes and sharp claws. It's often associated with the brutal winters of the northern forest. In these harsh environments, food scarcity would sometimes lead to acts of cannibalism, and the Wendigo came to symbolize the terrifying consequences of such desperation. In its most basic form, the Wendigo represents a spirit of insatiable hunger. Legend says that those who resorted to eating human flesh or gave in to extreme greed and selfishness could be transformed into Wendigos themselves. The creature is said to grow larger with every victim it consumes but never feels satisfied. Physically, Wendigos are depicted as towering figures, often over 15 feet tall, with grayish, decaying skin. Some tales describe them with antlers or a deer-like head, further emphasizing their monstrous, otherworldly nature. These creatures also possess incredible strength, speed, and heightened senses, making them formidable predators in the forests of the Great Lakes and beyond. Beyond its physical terror, the Wendigo has deep cultural significance. It serves as a cautionary symbol, warning against greed, gluttony, and moral decay during difficult times. The fear of becoming a Wendigo kept communities focused on cooperation and survival. The Wendigo has also made its way into modern pop culture, featuring in books, films, and video games as a monstrous embodiment of hunger and primal fear. Number 6. The Gila monster. The Gila monster is one of North America's most fascinating creatures, and it holds the distinction of being one of the only 2 venomous lizards in the world. Native to the deserts of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico, the Gila monster is known for its vibrant black and pink or orange bead-like scales, which serve as camouflage and a warning to potential predators. At about 18 to 22 inches long, these slow-moving reptiles are often misunderstood despite their fearsome reputation. These creatures spend much of their time in burrows to avoid the desert heat and store fat in their tails, allowing them to survive long periods without food. While their bite is venomous, they're generally non-aggressive and rarely pose a danger to humans unless provoked. The venom, delivered through grooves in their teeth rather than fangs, is primarily used to subdue prey like small mammals, birds, and eggs. Interestingly, Their venom has also contributed to modern medicine. A component of Gila monster venom has been used in treatments for type 2 diabetes. Despite their fearsome appearance and local folklore that once attributed them with deadly powers, such as lethal breath, the Gila monster is an important part of desert ecosystems. It is one of the Grand Canyon's greatest and strangest creatures. So, if you encounter one, consider yourself lucky. Number 5. The oldest person to cross the Grand Canyon. At 92 years old, Alfredo Aliaga Barrow did something most people half his age might only dream of. He crossed the Grand Canyon from rim to rim, setting a world record. The 24-mile journey, with over 10,000 feet of elevation change, is already a grueling challenge. But Alfredo didn't give up. He walked steadily for over 21 hours across 2 days in October 2023. Now, Alfredo didn't pursue this endeavor just to set a record. After his wife passed away from ALS in 2006, he began revisiting the places they had explored together, and the Grand Canyon held a special place in their adventures. Inspired by the previous record holder, Alfredo trained for a year, walking 8 miles daily to prepare for the hike. Along the way, he received endless support from fellow hikers who recognized him on the trail and cheered him on. Alfredo credits his longevity and fitness to a healthy lifestyle he only adopted in his 70s, proving it's never too late to pursue new goals. His 3 pillars for staying healthy are a balanced diet, daily walking, and getting 8 hours of sleep. Despite his achievement, he's not done yet. Alfredo plans to tackle even more adventures in the future, including possibly hiking other major mountains. Alfredo's story shows that with perseverance and passion, age is just a number. Number 4. The Desert View Watchtower. The Desert View Watchtower is a 70-foot-tall stone structure perched on the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Designed in 1932 by architect Mary Coulter, it was inspired by ancient Puebloan architecture and serves as a stunning viewpoint and a tribute to Native American culture. Coulter modeled the watchtower after the cliff dwellings found at sites like Mesa Verde and Hoven Weep, blending it seamlessly into the rugged landscape. The tower's rough-hewn stones mimic the eroded canyon walls, making it hard to tell where the natural rock ends and the man-made structure begins. However, its exterior isn't the only impressive thing about it. What makes the watchtower quite stunning is its interior, adorned with murals by Hopi artist Fred Cabody. These murals, found on the first floor, depict Hopi legends, including the Hopi snake legend, a story about a chief's son who navigates the Colorado River, symbolizing the deep connection between the Hopi people and the canyon. The watchtower's upper floors are decorated with designs based on ancient petroglyphs, further connecting it to the region's rich indigenous heritage. Number 3. The Hopi's legendary doll. The Hopi Kachina figures, or Tithu, are intricately carved representations of spiritual beings central to Hopi culture and belief systems. These figures embody the Kachinas, supernatural entities that influence natural forces such as rain, fertility, and the harvest. The Hopi believe Kachinas reside in the nearby San Francisco peaks and visit their villages from the winter solstice to midsummer, guiding the Hopi in their agricultural and spiritual practices. Each Kachina figure has a distinct appearance and role, representing different spirits, ancestors, or elements of nature, such as the Sun Kachina or Corn Maiden Kachina. The figures are often used in ceremonial dances, where men of the tribe don elaborate masks and costumes to impersonate these beings, bringing their blessings to the community. Over time, the carving and gifting of Kachina dolls have become a way to preserve Hopi traditions and pass them down through generations, ensuring the continuity of their spiritual practices. Collectors and museums have shown great interest in these intricate carvings, but the Hopi emphasize their cultural and spiritual significance over their artistic value. Traditionally, these figures are hand-carved from cottonwood roots and decorated with vibrant colors and intricate symbols. If you see some of these figures around the Grand Canyon, note that these dolls bear great significance to the Hopi people. Number 2. The Tarantula Hawk Wasp. The tarantula hawk wasp is one of nature's most intriguing and formidable predators, known for its size and powerful sting. Found in the deserts of the southwestern United States and as far south as South America, these wasps are typically around 2 inches long with striking black bodies and bright orange wings. Despite their menacing appearance, they're relatively docile unless provoked. The female tarantula hawk's hunting behavior is what makes it particularly fascinating. It hunts tarantulas, yes, tarantulas, using its long stinger to paralyze the spider without killing it. The wasp then drags the paralyzed tarantula to a burrow, laying a single egg on the spider's body. Once the egg hatches, the larvae consume the tarantula from the inside, keeping the spider alive as long as possible to ensure fresh food until the wasp pupates into adulthood. While the sting of the tarantula hawk is ranked as one of the most painful in the insect world, second only to the bullet ant, the pain lasts only a few minutes and is not life-threatening. Entomologist Justin Schmidt described the sting as instantaneous, electrifying, and totally debilitating. However, despite their painful sting, These wasps are not aggressive towards humans and are best left alone. Their hunting behavior and appearance are enough to earn them the title of the insect of everyone's nightmares. Number 1. Wildlife of the Grand Canyon, the collared lizard. The collared lizard is one of the Grand Canyon's most striking reptiles. It's easily recognizable by the 2 black bands around its neck and its vivid green, blue, and yellow scales. Often spotted sunning itself on rocks along trails like the South Rim or Bright Angel Trail, the collared lizard thrives in the canyon's hot, rocky environment. Their colors often change slightly depending on their mood or temperature, with males displaying even brighter hues during the mating season to attract females. These lizards are also highly territorial, often seen defending their rocky domains from other males through displays of head bobbing or push-ups. They are surprisingly strong for their size and use their powerful jaws to subdue prey, including insects and smaller reptiles. Interestingly, collared lizards have an impressive ability to regenerate their tails if they lose them, a handy adaptation for escaping predators. These lizards are impressive sprinters, capable of running on their hind legs to chase down prey or escape danger, clocking speeds of up to 16 miles per hour. They primarily feed on insects, small lizards, and occasionally snakes. So, if you see them while hiking in the Grand Canyon, there's no need to worry. These guys are completely harmless, quite strange but harmless nonetheless. Do you have any experiences in the Grand Canyon you'd like to share? If so, feel free to let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the videos appearing on the screen, and I'll see you next time.